This is Amy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today I'm going to show you how I paint a cluster of purple flowers on this glass vase. Great way to spruce up home decor, make a great little gift for someone. A vase could be used even as a centerpiece for entertaining on your table. I am going to be using two one-stroke brushes. One is a number 10, one is a number 12. Both are plaid one-stroke brushes. And then a number 4 Deerfoot Stippler. Paint I'm using is Wicker White, Fresh Foliage, Thicket, Moon Yellow, and then I'm going into my purples. I have Perfect Purple. I am using Eggplant, and then Lavender. All of these paints are folk art paints. Some are multi-surface and some are enamels. I'm trying to switch over to the multi-surface as much as I can, but sometimes they don't have the colors that I need, so I go to the enamels. Anyways, just to give you a little background on that. So what I'm going to do is come over here to my purples, and I am going to just put a few in here. Just going to mix them together a little bit. And then I'm going to do a basic stroke where I am doing a 5-petal flower. And so I am going over this, start on my chisel edge, push the brush down and bring it back up. And then do the same here, pull it down, bring it back up, and do the same here again. Now what I'm going to do is come back over it, and I'm going to put some white in it. And the reason being is that I'm considering this just to be more of a base coat for me. And then I'll come back over it with the original, maybe a little bit of the eggplant, just to get a little bit darker. And then I can go over all of it like this, or just some of the petals. You can do the color all going in the same direction, or you can, do some where you have darker petals in one direction and lighter petals in the next direction. However you want to do it. On this, right now I'm doing all the same color, and I'm sorry, we are having a storm right now, and got a couple doggies that are not too happy about it. And you might hear them crying a little bit. The big chickens when it comes to the storms. But what are you going to do, right? Okay. Like I said, if you feel like you need to go over it again, feel free to do so. Doing your paint where it is a little bit thicker makes it a little bit more durable. Alright, so on this I could turn it, this is what I meant by doing petals in different colors or different directions. You could do it like this, and then you could come back and actually do some with the darker purple on the outer side, like this. So that's pretty too. So I'm going to go like this, come back up. Again, this is just a very easy stroke. And I can leave it like that if I want, just to give it, a little different look. or I can just come back in here and do like that, pull it up, pull it around. So I'm just giving you little variations here. You don't have to do all these different paints and such if you don't want. So I'm just going over here. Very easy. So whenever you're painting and you're doing glass work, just make sure you clean your glass well and that you rub it off with rubbing alcohol, or clean it off I should say with rubbing alcohol, just to make sure that you get all the grease and grime off, you know, from fingerprints and that kind of thing, because I mean, let's be honest, you're touching everything and then touching the glass, you know, that's going to get oils and such on there that could lead to the paint not sticking as well as you might like it to. So just keep that in mind. Now in my videos, unless I'm going to sell something, at this point I'm pretty much wiping the glassware off and repainting on it so that I don't have too big of a stash of glass sitting around that I'm not selling. See how pretty these are? I think I'm going to come up here and do that too. I kind of like that. I like the having lighter on some side, darker on the other. And remember, when you're done painting, remember to give it some dry time. You're supposed to allow it to air dry for at least an hour, and then you can place it in the oven. When you do so, make sure you're placing it into a cold oven, that you then add your bake time to your preheat time, so that you want to make sure your glassware doesn't have any quick change of temperature, because that's what will cause it to break. Same goes when it's done baking. When you're finished baking, you want to get it out of that oven only after it has completely cooled down. Any sudden movement and change in temperature will cause it to break. And I know that after you've worked hard on your design, you don't want it to break, now do you? You don't. You really, really don't. So what I'm doing on this right now is just putting in the stem, and I'm using a combination of my Thicket, Moon Yellow, and the Fresh Foliage, and I'm just going over the stem just to make sure that it is a little bit thicker. I don't want it to be too thin or it will not be very durable. Okay, just using a simple leaf design here, where I am just going like this, down and bringing it back up. And then I will come in here, put just a little thin little pull through it, attach the leaf to the vine, and do the same thing here. Pulled up a little bit of white, which is fine. It'll just give me a little bit more durability, right? And I come down here and do the same thing. So basically, if you want, you're just going like this, and then you're pulling it back. And then you can come, if you want to do a couple beside each other, that's great. Over here, do the same thing and pull it back. And I'm just gonna trying to get a good stem in my leaf. And I'm going to do the same over here. All these are going to have the dark paint on the outer edges. Now this one, what am I doing here? Got to get my groove here. It's one thing nice about being able to move your container around when you're painting on glass. So I can get it going in the direction that makes me feel more comfortable. Now if you want to use a different kind of leaf on this design, feel free to. This is just a suggestion. If you're like me, you have your favorite leaves to do, but I know I do. And everybody's preference is probably a little different. I don't know. Let's see here. And we're just kind of pulling them up where we see them, just bringing them back, and then one like this. Just very lightly, or as lightly as I can. And then you can always add in just your cute little, just single little pole flowers. Or not flowers, but leaves, petals. See here, I got a little bit of green in there that isn't actually part of this design. I'm not making these very big, but I want to make my stem as crisp as I can. And if you ever have an issue with the paint lifting up while you're painting on it, or like say you're doing a design and you don't want to do wet on wet where you're painting over something while it's still wet, you know, feel free to hit it with a hairdryer or a heat gun. Any of those type of items are welcome. Now they're not a replacement for baking by any means, but they definitely can be used for allowing you to create a design a little bit quicker, and then you'll get it finished and ready for baking. I'm just going to pull this over here. Try not to make it too big. I know I keep pulling these. Trying to get a good coverage here. Let me do this again. You know, it keeps taking off some of the paint. I just feel like my brush gets so full of paint and then it pulls it off. Alright, so then the next step to this lovely little pattern is to use the little small Deerfoot Stippler, and then I'm going to go into the center. Now here's a case where you might want to hit this with a heat gun or a hairdryer, because some of this paint is still going to be wet, which may not get you the cleanest center as far as painting wise that you might want, because it'll be mixing in with the wet paint. If you find that to be an issue, like I said, just make sure you hit it with the heat gun or a hairdryer. I'm just going to use two colors on this today, and it'll be the yellow and the white. You could add some purple in there too if you wanted your center to be a little darker. You could do that, but I'm not too concerned about that right now. And if you feel like you need to just blend it in a little bit more, you can come back with your yellow on top and do that. Alright, and there we have it. Pretty easy, right? Pretty easy, pretty. Does that make sense? Not really. It does turn out to be a lovely design, quick and easy, ready to go within a short period of time. If you were painting this to have it as a home, like a home decor piece to sit on a shelf, you could just do the front. If I were painting it, I'd probably paint the design all the way around. I am painting it, excuse me, but if I were painting it to keep or to sell it, I would paint the design all the way around. Didn't do that since I'm just doing this as a demo for a video, but it definitely would be pretty to have as a centerpiece or sitting on a table, sitting on your mantle, wherever you want to place it. Makes a nice little gift as well. Alright, I hope you like this video. If you do, give me a big thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And before you leave, hit the share button that you'll see underneath the video and share this on your social network with all your family and friends. I would greatly appreciate it. Any questions, comments, place those down below. Thanks again for taking your time to view my video. I truly appreciate it and hope you stay safe and healthy. Until the next time, you have a good one.